Alright, alright, alright. Even though the Act 4 music is really, really cool. This is Act 4 mining tunnels. A little bit of pre-hype for Act 4 there. We have to get going. We got the Path of Exile PvP Season 2 Invitational for America starting for you guys. And, once again... Oh, shit! No! No! There we go! I thought I messed up, but I fixed it. We're all good. We're all good. And once again, I am Willy Wonka, and joining me here, we got my good friend, Green Dude. Green Dude, what's up?
Hey guys, welcome back for some of you. We did do the EU earlier today, but yeah, welcome to the US one. I mean, this is the people that I'm most familiar with because often I always play on the US Gateway,
Right?
And I can say just from personal experience playing them, this is like the quality players. I mean, I'm really excited.
Cream of the crop.
Definitely, man. We're gonna be in for an exciting match. So let's begin by looking at our tree here. The first match we're gonna be doing is Dwarf Blar Flor.
The Svarblar
Waggle.
Waggle.
We're gonna call him maybe Waggle or something for commentating purposes.
We can call him Waggle. That's cool.
All right.
Yeah.
So
And
we'll
then
go with
Drainer.
Waggle. So Waggle. I'm not exactly sure what build he's going to be using because during the season he's been doing Firestormer, but lately we've seen him really switch into like a Sparker, kind of like brain amputation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's been doing that change back and forth. So I'm excited to see what he's going to be playing. And so on our second match, or first of all, he's going to be playing against Drainer. That's a player that actually I'm not too familiar with. Oh no, wait, that's Christopher, right? Yeah, Christopher is Ice Shot, if I'm not mistaken. He's a very good Ice Shot player. Honestly, the Ice Shot hits like a train. He's not invincible.
It's unreal.
Yeah, he's not invincible. He doesn't have stun of immunity, which is going to be really crucial against a Firestormer if that's what he's playing. But his damage is insane. I hope you guys are ready for that.
And he's really clever too. Like he takes advantage of the shotgun effect and hitting corners so he can hit you. And he's really good.
Yes, I think without further ado, we should just jump into the first one. Here
we go. Oh, gotta get some audio.
Yeah, chat says that I'm a little quiet, so if you can boost that up a little bit.
Oh, I'll turn it up after this round. Don't want to miss any of the action.
Alright, so here we go. He's going to be placing a lot of traps on the ground.
Yep. Is he playing some kind of hybrid Spark Firestorm, or is he just fully Firestorm now, I think?
I think he might just be Firestorm for this event, but I've seen him test Spark a lot.
Yeah, we saw it was really good with Burr in the last round.
Yeah, and Firestorm, if you don't have clever construction, will break traps instantly because it's an AoE. So it's really good against trappers. And here we've got Christopher putting a lot of pressure. He's actually going in pretty close to melee range. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe just to put on an extra pressure.
Oh, that's a big-ass Firestorm right on top of him. But he does get some spell dodge, doesn't he? With the Rare Guard. Or spell block, rather. Or is it dodge?
Yeah, you do get a bit of a spell dodge, but remember with acrobatics it gets reduced. Man, that is destructive. Remember, Christopher doesn't have the stun immunity, so he's kind of perma-stuck in there if he doesn't get a lucky RNG roll and get out.
Do you see those traps, though? He was able to snipe him with the trap and bring it down to like 5% there. Yeah,
this is really the description of Glass Cannon, isn't it? His damage is ridiculous.
And there you could see this Svarblar Waggle was hiding behind the pillar, and Christopher just shot the corner, and because the projectile hit the corner, it's gonna shoot into a cone and hit him from behind the pillar, or in the back. That's why Ice Shot is really nice.
Ice Shot is definitely a controversial skill right now. Sometimes it has like kind of an invisible Ice Shot, and also it can, as you were describing, it hits a wall and the cone hits it behind the wall. It has some pretty ridiculous.
Nice cold snap into permastun, not permastun though, but got some good damage.
Yeah, does not have Wanderlust or Dream Frags on.
So that's two cold snaps there in a row that really ended that round easily. So maybe we'll see a switch to a Dream Fragments or a Wanderlust. Wanderlust is probably the best idea because you don't lose any damage that way.
remember, Dwarf has a lot of cast 1 stun setup, so anytime he gets stunned, he's very likely to roll. Each spell rolls individually on cast 1 stun, so you can have a lot of stuff come out at once.
All right, there we go.
Dwarf winning this matchup pretty convincingly. Honestly, it's no surprise. I myself play against Christopher with the same or similar build. It's just the stun immunity. He doesn't have it. There's no way he's getting out of it, essentially.
Yeah. All right, good first round. We are...
So, yeah. So next up, we're going to be looking at Hedgie
versus Hedgie.
Bacon.
Spreading that butter. Hegemony TV. And Bacon also. I mean, these are both very active players. Hedgie has been wrecking me throughout this season with his bow puncture. Well, it's just a really strong puncture bow slash ice shot character, isn't it? Like a very offensive one. I feel like he just rushes me down and finishes me off.
Yeah, exactly.
Very easily. He's very aggressive.
I mean, because Hedgie's a streamer, we get a sneak peek into his build, and we're able to see all his gear and stuff. And I remember him getting a 6-link on Torment, a bow 6-link, and as if that wasn't enough, he got a chest 6-link as well. So this guy, whether he's using traps on you, whether he's using a self-cast like Ice Shot, this guy does damage. There's no doubt there. And Chinese Bacon Trap is actually, if I'm not mistaken, is the exact same build, at least very similar. You'll notice one of them's Ranger and one of them's Shadow, but other than that, I think they're pretty much similar, meaning they both use Ice Shot, they both have acrobatics. So we'll have to see. I mean, in the case like this, it might just come down to potting, for example, because the builds are so similar, or your positioning, right? If you don't walk over a traps, etc.
Right.
So anyway, we're getting started here. I sent them the go, and here we're about to begin.
It's taken down.
Yeah, like I said, it's hard to call this one. Really hard to call this one. It really comes down to not making mistakes, essentially. So whoever puts on most pressure might force the other to make some crucial mistakes.
We got the single target proj from Bacon. Doesn't have any +1 arrow. Doesn't want to risk his good bow, I assume.
We've got some terrible start here for Chinese Bacon. He's taken a lot of damage. He's got the curses on him. Hedgie's got the mirror blink arrow going.
Well, mirror, both blink and mirror arrow.
Yeah, the duplicates, or whatever you'd like to call them, the clones of you, actually do quite a bit of damage. Remember, they take your bow damage, they take your quiver damage, and they have a more multiplier to sort of make up for the fact that they don't get your belt and your jewelry, etc.
Yeah, and everything adds up.
Yeah, and sometimes people have done clever stuff with them, like use them to help you get curses on the enemy, or put on point blank on them, so that when a melee comes up to you and you teleport away, he gets a point blank shot on the melee, for example. Plenty of cool stuff you can do with that.
And you can probably get puncture on your bow too, and make your mirrors do puncture.
That's right. If you use a Tora bow, it causes bleeding on hit, and that works for the mirror or the copy.
Round 3. Fight.
Yeah, it looks like I'm not sure if he's trapping it or if he's just self-casting it, but he's always got those mirrored copies on.
Seems like Bacon is dishing out way more traps here, and Hedge is stepping a lot of them.
Yeah, and you'll notice Bacon is also just standing still a lot, whereas Hedgie is always moving, constantly on the move. I think that's not good at all in this setup, because Hedgie can punish someone standing still very easily by just off-screening them. Even putting a trap on them.
And I like what Bacon's doing. When he's firing at his target, he puts his clones in front of him in the line of sight of Hedgie.
Yeah, exactly. Because the enemy's arrows won't go through, but yours will.
Unless he's using Ice Shot. Then Hedgie will do more damage.
That's true. You have to make sure that your clone is far enough so that the cone of Ice Shot doesn't get to you, because the cone is the hardest hitting part of Ice Shot.
Alright, Hedgie making it back into down into the corner first, trying to get some traps out, triggering a multi-trap mirror arrow.
And look at that, Bacon's got the clone trap, whereas Hedgie, I think, is just using the self-cast one.
Yeah.
And pretty interesting. They're obviously using a lot of Rain of Arrow. It's a perfect skill for popping traps for quiver or bow users.
Oh man, that's so cool. They're actually dealing like a good, 5% HP per hit.
Yeah, and do not underestimate the confusion they cause. Look at that. That's
Oh
ridiculous.
my god, and the ice shot, clones off the clones.
Man, that was a lot of mirrors. It was awesome. I mean, they do quite a bit of damage, but also they get confusing. You know, when you're using the ability to go somewhere, sometimes you can use the clone and then just not move still, and the person thinks you're gone, but in reality you're still there. You can do some really clever stuff.
Alright, Hedgie just holding his station down here. Bacon falling back and getting some regen. Oh, steps into Hedgie's set up traps in the back there. Not a good engagement. Yeah. Oh, but gets an excellent puncture on Hedgie.
The Chinese definitely, Chinese Bacon definitely getting the advantage from being here at the bottom.
Yeah.
Remember, the bottom gives you the better camera angle, but more importantly in this map, you only have two sides at which you can come through, so you really can protect it with your traps and spam very easily.
Oh man, Bacon is so good at not moving, just standing, holding his ground whenever he's got bleed on. Oh. Oh, the clone is so distracting.
Oh my god, Bacon actually thought that was the real person.
Yep.
It was only a clone, almost losing his life because of it. Obviously here he's refusing to pot, which is completely understandable.
Yeah, Hedgie can just take this. Yeah, he can just take this.
Hedgie could make a clone or use
8
Rain
seconds.
of Arrows.
He's got it.
There we go.
Oh god. Got me worried.
It would have been, it would have been a terrible mistake there. It's so easy to get people around the corner with a Rain of Arrow or even making a clone on the angle there. And see, Bacon, both of them trying to rush the bottom already. Bacon setting up all the clones. It's not a good place to be at the bottom when there's like 3 clones right in your face.
Yeah. So I'm glad to see that puncture and bow characters are still in the meta. They're still in the PvP because a lot of people were really. Well, they weren't big fans of puncture character or bow characters in the last seasons because they were so dominant.
Yeah.
But with a little bit of tweaking now, I feel like it's much more balanced.
Yeah, it's in a pretty good place. I think bows came out strong at the beginning of the season. Everyone was like, okay, this is going to be, still the most OP thing. And then I think a lot of people came to the conclusion where, like, bow puncture is still good, but it's not where it was, so... I think it's in a good place right now. The traps are still a little bit frustrating with clever construction. That node makes your traps unbreakable for 2.5 seconds. It says 5 seconds on it, but in PvP it's been cut by a half.
Right. That was a nice little change. Man,
we're seeing Bacon with the sniper Rain of Arrows around the corners. I really like what I'm seeing.
This is like an elaborate dance. It's really cool to see them duke it out like this. Ooh,
yeah, this Agent Smith build is really cool. I think the only downside to the Agent Smith is that remember when you're killing the duplicates, they're giving you flash charges. So if you're not dying to them fast enough, you're actually refilling and able to pot through them even easier. So it's very interesting.
Mr. Hegemony. The Mr. Smith build, I like it. Ooh. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, Hedgie would be able to fill up his charges and just play cool if he could. And having that pot advantage is going to make a big difference. But that was a close match. Man.
Yeah, very exciting. Honestly, I'm surprised that the Agent Smith build comes out on top because, yeah, like I said, it's surprising. It gives you charges, and it's, when you use Rain of Arrows, remember, Rain of Arrows can actually hit really hard.
Really hard.
It hasn't gotten any kind of PvP nerf, whereas like other skills like Puncture, for example, has. And it's AoE, so it deals with those things, with those duplicates, and gives you the charges back.
And deals with the traps, and shoot behind objects. It's
exactly. So maybe Hedgie wasn't spamming Rain of Arrow enough. I'm not entirely sure. The ice shot, the cone as well, does AoE. If you hit a duplicate, you might hit another one behind. Yeah, you'd think that Hedgie would have came up on top, but Bacon proving us wrong.
All right, so Bacon's gonna go up and face Disfarv, let's say Woggle, and we're gonna jump into the round 3, and we're gonna see Tsunami versus Hellman. Leaf slamming Hellman. I don't know if he's leaf slamming it in PvP, but he sure does in racing.
That's right. Hellman actually, huge shout out to Hellman and Waggle, because those two guys did what I think was impossible, which is be competitive in PvP and in racing.
Yeah.
You know, both of them participated in the Racing Invitational yesterday. You know, obviously Hellman unfortunately dying, but playing Duelist and, you know, really showing us though that, you know, despite the fact that the schedule is very hectic and you'd think it would be impossible, you know, he's done it for sure. All right, so I think we're about to get started on this one.
Let's do it.
Hellman's playing the Trapper, very reminiscent of Lord Sigil's build in the first season, as suggested by his character name. And Tsunami is probably the most notorious ice shotter this season. If you want to see some top level ice shot play, you're about to see it right now.
Oh god, and this map is really good for it too.
Yes, you can sometimes get the cone to deal damage behind the obstacle, so that's why he's you know, very dominant in this position here, refusing to give way to Hellman rather.
Hellman rather, yeah. All right, Hellman getting some traps out, just filling his opponent out, and I think Zuna's going to be playing pretty cautiously. Hopefully, be using his rain of arrows a lot against these traps. But Hellman most definitely has clever constructions here, so he can rely on that.
Yes, absolutely he does. You'll notice Tsunami has two projectiles, which means he's not using LMP, he's just using a single proj, but he's got a corruption either on his bow or most likely on his quiver that gives him +1 arrows. Oh, and there's the cold snap on the wombo combo.
Oh, wow.
Pots through it, surprisingly. Good use of the panic there, bringing him to low life and then potting there.
And Hellman had showing signs of Caswin stunned as well. Got some Glacial Cascade action there.
Yep, absolutely. A very, very common use now for the casters is why wear Chayula? Why, when you can, you know, you're spec'd into LE damage, right? Especially Templar Shadow, they can spec into LE damage, which boosts any type of elemental damage. So why would you wear a Chayula when you can actually do more damage when you're stunned, right? Yeah. So it's a very cool new meta that we've experienced since Caswin Stun got released.
Turning a disadvantage into an advantage. I like it.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, and we're seeing Hellman rush to the bottom here, trying to maybe get the ground first, and he does. Hellman's using multi-trap bear trap, and his other traps consist of Freeze Pulse, LMP. It's got the shotgun effect. Same with Spark, again with LMP. Very high damage. Spark is probably the hardest hitting spell right now. Much harder than Freeze Pulse is, because Freeze Pulse got a huge nerf last season.
Yeah, with Sparks, there's a little bit random. Freeze Pulse does a ton of damage, though, and I imagine he probably has elemental weakness on his gloves, so the first projectile's going to hit, it's going to curse him, and then the next two are going to hit with the curse activated on his opponent.
That's right, so the first one acts as a procer, and the second and third one hits you for a ton of damage. Unless you're somehow reactive enough to, you know,
dispel that.
well, you can have a curse immunity now, but it's very unlikely that a top player like this would pot ahead of time. So yeah, it's pretty destructive for sure. You have to almost be overcapped to the two elements being used.
Also, we've gotten some new flasks in the game now. Well, new flask mods. Like you can get just like curse immunity, you can have puncture immunity, freeze immunity, ignite immunity for the duration of the flask. And I mean that's affected some of the meta as well, especially with the puncture and freeze.
And then we saw Hellman almost getting the wombo combo. It's very simple. You cold snap the opponent and then you trap them. It's very simple. But we saw Tsunami there. As soon as he got cold snap, duration of the freeze was short enough that he was able to smoke mine right out just before the trap hit him.
Oh, there he goes
again. There's the wombo combo. Ooh. And Tsunami getting out just in time. You know what's interesting is Hellman is doing this combo, like he's already done it 2, maybe 3 times, and when he does it, it doesn't require him to pot.
Oh my god, that's the freeze pulse. There you go.
And that ninja trap sitting there, I don't think he was expecting it.
That's Hellman's plan though. Just have some sneaky traps in there. One mistake from Zunafish and it's over.
Yeah, there's no way to see the traps. You have to always keep in mind where they might be, or spam things that can break them.
Yeah, there you go.
And Herald of Ash, you saw right there, also breaks multi-traps very easily, because the AoE comes out when you break a trap, and the AoE is large enough to hit the second one for multi-trap, and then the third.
We saw
Very
there.
cool, chain reaction.
We saw there that Tunafish was having trouble because Clever Construction, he used Rain of Arrows, thought the traps were gone, and then decided to move and step right on them.
That's right. Yeah, you have to imagine in your head that there needs to be 2.5 seconds of waiting, and sometimes the pressure is on. You don't have time for that. So, yeah, traps are very sneaky and annoying sometimes because you can't destroy them and you can't see them. So, a lot of guessing and preemptive play.
Is he able to shoot through this those blocks?
No.
Sure looks like he's trying.
Yeah, you can definitely shoot from the corners of any obstacle,
right,
but not in that thickness there in the middle. And Hellman, really doing a good job because think of it this way, first of all, his build is innately campy, right? You put down traps.
Squishy.
Exactly.
There you go.
Wow,
Two
there's
shots.
the corner shot.
That's all it takes.
That's the cone damage right there. He hit the obstacle and the cone deals full damage behind. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, Hellman was doing a good job because he has the advantage and he's playing a campy build, so there's no reason for him to advance. Unfortunately now, Tsunami got a snipe on him and now he's in deep trouble. Tsunami's got the ground there at the bottom.
Oh, nice.
Very nice to try to get the sniper on the corner. I like that.
That's what he needs. Hellman doesn't have freeze immunity. That's his weakness.
Yeah, and you see him there. Put a clone on one side to make Hellman think that he's there. Then smoke mine to the other.
So smart.
I mean, Tsunami's really trying hard and playing very well.
And one thing you can notice is, man, one of the worst things in PvP is temp chains on hit with chill effect. Look at how slow Hellman is right now.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Remember, not only are you getting chilled by the ice shot, then you're sitting in chilled ground, so even if the regular chill were to expire, you'd still be there, and your temp chains. It's absolutely crazy. And Tsunami getting the snipe there on Hellman, I don't think he was expecting it.
No,
kind of ran right into it. Yeah,
overextended a little bit.
Yep. Did a mistake by Hellman, and now he's crazy trouble because it's so hard to approach with traps, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's at a disadvantage. He has to push, take the initiative, unless Zunofish makes a mistake here. Oh, got him trapped.
Do you remember though that Hellman gets one wombo combo and that's it? He's done.
Yep.
Oh, and this might be it.
Oh, he didn't freeze.
Trying to capitalize. Oh, and
going for it.
Going
oh, self-gas freeze ball, still doing great damage.
That was exceptional play by Hellman.
Yep.
Fucking textbook play right there. That was crazy.
Wombo combo.
Oh, I love this. Hellman going in with the trap, knowing he's going to smoke mine away. Quicksilvering, getting close. He's trying to get. See, look at the pressure. He knows that he doesn't have the freeze immunity. Going in with the freeze pulse as well.
Oh man, the reaction on Zunofish. Perfect smoke mine. Yeah, even though the cold snap doesn't work, Hellman just goes for it.
Wow.
Takes this one. GG from both players.
That was an exciting match.
So Hellman showed us how to play passively, take his time, and then at the end, he had to play aggressively, and he stepped up.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible. Honestly, good job to both players.
Yeah.
I was, just saying how Tsunami was playing exceptionally well to deal with a trapper. It's so hard to deal with a trapper that it was, crazy what he was doing. But Hellman, like playing a trapper like I've never seen one before, going in, quicksilvering, even figuring out like, okay, I'll put a trap on you. I know you're going to smoke mine away, so I'm going to keep running forward and go where you land. It's, both of them playing excellent, and it might just come down to how they were potting or even just the build, the matchup.
Yep. I don't think Zunofish was expecting that aggressive play at the end. Got him by surprise.
Exactly. And Hellman, once he got that kill, he's like, okay, let's try it a second time. As soon as we got the arena switch, aggressive again. Honestly, Hellman did a really good job there. All right, so if we take a look here, we next we're going to have Mephisto and Naomi. Naomi, there you go. So Naomi is Snowflake. Okay, so I think Naomi is the Ice Shot character that I remember playing. He's also played a Wander. Feel it's very unlikely that he would be the Wander for this event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wanding in 1 versus 1 isn't the greatest thing. It's really good in parties, but it's so squishy.
Yeah,
Glass
I really
cannon
feel like
in
it's
a nutshell.
Ice Shot. Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna have definitely Ice Shot versus Mephisto is playing the Sword and Board's, I believe, Cyclone character.
Yeah, and Naomi is holding a bow here in the blue. All right, I think we're good to go, Green Dude.
Yeah, let's go for it. And yeah, it's actually interesting. Mephisto is not on the same character that we're used to for the season.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, this is a ranger with a completely different name. And I believe he was playing a marauder most of the season.
And he's dual wielding.
Wow, very interesting. I mean, I don't know what to expect here because that's not the build he was playing in the season, and pretty excited.
Chasing him down here with Anime Guardian. Chasing him.
It looks like he's using the dual wield so that he can get the
oh no, the
perma
perma-freeze. No freeze immunity. And Flicker Strike into Leap Slam. I don't know what's going on. Heavy Strike. I like it.
Wow, that is extremely fast attack speed from Mephisto.
That's probably the fastest I've ever seen.
That build is exciting. I mean, dual wielding Heavy Strike? Like, who does that? Crazy. And his Anime Guardian's got a very different chest than what you're used to seeing. Could be just a rare to make him as tanky as possible.
Mephisto doesn't care. He just goes straight for him, melee, and what? Is he getting stunned?
Ham. Yeah, it could very well be that he's either getting stunned or he's getting knockback stunned. If you don't have cannot be knockback boots, you can basically get into what's known as a knockback lock, where you're getting knocked back into the knockback animation so fast that you can never get out of it, essentially.
Yeah, but shouldn't you be able to attack at least with range attacks? I guess animation is too... I don't know.
No. If you're in the knockback animation and he has enough attack speed to send you back into it
You're
first,
stuck.
You're stuck there. So you definitely need the corruption on the boots or the cannot be knockback avoidance on the gloves.
Alright, but we're not seeing many traps here from Naomi. I mean, he could use that to his advantage and set up a base, but he's just allowing Mephisto to just run in and, well, finish it off.
Yeah, wow, it's a very explosive play by Mephisto. Fantastic. And this is exactly what you have to do against a bow player. Just cannot give them time to put traps or to set up a good position. Just be all over them.
Yeah, but I mean that's one of the tools of the ranged character to distance yourself from the opponent is the traps.
Exactly, and he was.
I didn't see any.
Him. Yeah, exactly. So now that we've concluded with that one, that's it for round one. Now we're going into losers bracket, where we're gonna meet up with some of the people that we saw earlier who lost their match. Now they're going to be fighting for their tournament life.
Oh snap! Are we going to be seeing Hedgie once again?
That's right. We're going to be seeing the Hedgie bow versus the Christopher bow. So Drainer is playing as Christopher, the Shadow, with Ice Shot, and Hedgie also using a wide variety of bow skills.
All right, let's see if PvP in this Hedgie here is strong enough for this. Christopher, let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see. It seems like Christopher has probably, I don't want to say an advantage, but he uses Ice Shot a lot more than Hedgie.
Yeah.
And Hedgie doesn't have the freeze immunity and stuff, so Christopher could easily take it if Hedgie isn't careful with where he's standing against obstacles.
And Christopher has the LMP going on there.
Oh, and there it is.
Round two.
Yeah. He's definitely got multiple projectiles on his self-cast. It might be LMP, it could be a double corruption. That'd be absolutely crazy if he did.
It looks like 4
It's such a
projectiles.
rare
Hedge is going in. Throwing traps back and forth. It could have been anyone. And Christopher actually using Barrage there for that close quarter fighting.
Oh, apparently the overlay is wrong. Can you switch to...
Oh, my bad. My bad. There it is.
Alright.
Overlay!
Special thanks to Hellman for spamming
Yep.
the game. Alright, so here we've got... yeah, so we basically what we're seeing is Christopher potting through an endless barrage of skills and basically dying at the end of the round. So honestly, that was kind of a waste of pots there by Christopher. If I was him, I would have just let myself die, I think. Remember, he has the advantage, so even if he loses that round, he still stays up by 2 points, and he saves his flask, which is huge in a best of 7. So Christopher kind of camping the bottom side there. That's definitely where you want to be, especially with Ice Shot.
I want to draw it out a little bit.
Yeah, and Hedgie just trying to survive the onslaught of puncture and curses and ice shot chill ground.
And you can tell that because they don't have any whirling blades or anything, they're actually getting hit by most of the traps they walk over as well. Oh, Hedgie actually confusing Christopher.
Yeah, Christopher is absolutely confused right now as to which one it is. He's guessing for it.
Oh, Hedgie's on the right.
For a second there, he had, I think, all of us confused, and it, worked out in his favor.
Kagebunshin no Jutsu Hedgie.
It's that, the blink arrow and mirror arrow are very awesome changes to PvP. They're not intended for PvP only, but they affect PvP greatly. It's really amazing.
Yeah, I didn't expect this. Oh, Christopher. Wow.
Whoa. Christopher just turns around and one-shots him like straight from a Hollywood movie scene or something.
I thought he was gone for.
Yeah, it looked like he was done and just decides, you know what, I'll just one-shot.
I'm gonna stand my ground.
It was crazy. So, okay, so he's at the bottom here again. I think Hedgie should fight for the bottom ground a little bit more because Christopher really gives him a hard time. And there you go. See, look at that. He got hit from the side there. Hedgie trying to go in. Not a safe ground, but it's working, putting a lot of pressure, and the duplicates destroying him.
Yep, once again. Usually you see Hedgie rushing for that, but last 2 rounds he's been taking it really slow. But this is going to be the deciding round here. New map. Hedgie going... Man, he's going into open area here. Not always a good idea.
Hedgie definitely securing the ground there, but in this map, Ice Shot can really hit that bottom sector quite hard, so not a good place to be. Christopher taking that ground now.
Oh,
and Hedgie in melee range.
Oh, barrage from Christopher. Right, oh, he's throwing traps instead. Decides that's the better choice. Hedgie really low.
Oh, yeah. Look at this Ice Shot cone.
Oh my god, nice mirror arrow.
Do not stand in the cone. Oh, and a very nice smoke mine there. I don't think Hedgie knew about it.
Christopher, half HP, not potting or anything. Really low HP now. I don't think he has any pots left. This might be Hedgie's chance.
One right there.
Yeah,
that might be his last one.
Slow healing pot.
This is final point, so you might as well use all your flasks as efficiently as you can. If you have one, use it.
There it is. That was the last one.
It was the last one, indeed. Yeah. And Hedgie doing the right thing, and when you're on the last round, you have to expect that your opponent will be low on flasks. So he was just spamming off screen, hoping that the pressure would cause him to fall.
Apologize for the scene error, but granted, I got to say, I never thought I'd say this, but I think puncture matchups are some of the most entertaining ones I've seen so far. I think it's really entertaining.
When we say that, I know.
The year 20XX.
All right, so that was exciting. So that's it basically because this was loser's bracket. That is it for Christopher. He's out of the tournament. Game over. But he played exceptionally well there. That was such a close game. So good job anyway. And next up, we're gonna have pretty much a very similar matchup with Tsunami and Nemui.
Yay! More bow didos.
Yeah, we're just about to get in. And yeah, so Tsunami is first of all, he's someone honestly, if you asked me before the tournament, who do you think is going to win? Even though it'd be hard to call it, I definitely would not say Tsunami would be in loser's bracket. That's for sure.
No.
I'm very surprised to see him here.
He's been doing well in the Swiss events for this season.
Yeah, very, very well. In Blitz as well. Ice Shot in Blitz is devastating, especially when you can use things like Taste of Hate and Dynamite. Wow.
The permafreeze.
I think we've just met Tsunami's
nemesis.
Rival. Your nemesis, yeah. Indeed. If Ice Shot versus Ice Shot. Oh, and that permafreeze. What? Sitting in the sitting in the ground. All right. Well, they show them the action.
I hate myself.
Don't keep the action just for ourselves.
What happened? What happened was Zunafish got permafrozen immediately and fell over. That was it. I'm sorry. Senpai, please. But in this matchup, you see once again, Unleash the Snowflake not using any traps whatsoever.
Wow, wow. Honestly, Snowflakes is destroying Tsunami, and that's something I would never think I'd say, because Tsunami is definitely, like I said, one of my favorites to for bow users in this Invitational.
Right, right.
Man, he's showing dominance. Like I don't know why, but Snowflake's damage is incredibly, almost higher than Tsunami, I'd say. Maybe at the cost of life, but in this matchup, it doesn't matter. Look at this cone effect through the corner. Wow.
Wow, dominating.
Yeah, very surprising. Snowflakes is playing exceptionally well. Standing in the right positions, I feel like his positioning is excellent. You don't see Snowflakes putting a lot of traps on the ground, right? He's not much of a trapper guy. He's just kind of, you know, position yourself, get those ice shot, and here he's probably has an advantage because he can see the red, but the red ground.
Yeah, and Zudifis can't see it. But
yeah, exactly.
I think what Unleash the Snowflake is doing is, you know, like I said, he doesn't use the traps. He just decides to go for the all-out damage with Ice Shot, and whenever Zunafish is throwing traps, he just sidesteps them and keeps dealing damage.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, it's not that he doesn't have traps. We saw him put some there, but it's just that he much prefers to get the ground, get the positioning, and get the pressure on than to even bother about you know, covering his defenses. Essentially, he doesn't need to bunker down. Here, using some mirror arrow, trying to. Oh wow! And there's the damage. Once you're kind of stuck into it, it's really hard to get out of it. And in a fight where it's kind of like glass cannon versus glass cannon, you might as well let yourself die and keep your flask.
But Unleash the Snowflake. Oh, he's getting caught on long range, and we were seeing him do so well with the offensive close quarters fights, mid range. And here we go.
Wow, Tsunami bringing it back.
All right, this is going to be the final round here.
Yeah, so a little arena switch to change things up for the last round. And pressure's on. I mean, this is it. Tournament life right here. Whoever wins this one goes on, but the other one's done for the tournament.
Some friendly banter in the chat here.
Yeah, I'm sure these guys know each other far too well. Very similar builds, and been playing with each other all season long. So we've already seen Snowflakes use a flask there. I think that was like a Quicksilver of warding or something. Definitely not good. Oh. And that'll do it.
Tsuna sniping, being on the hunt throughout the entire round, and Unleash the Snowflake was running around a little bit, getting caught.
Yep. Very interesting to see the comeback by Tsunami. We were just saying how Snowflakes came out dominating the match, and here we are with Tsunami winning and eliminating Snowflakes. So a little more like I would have predicted to see Tsunami walk on top, but Snowflakes, you know, I wouldn't say he's an underdog per se, but you know, surprising us with an outstanding start of the round, and unfortunately not able to finish it off.
Yep. GG by both players. Very, very entertaining match. Absolutely.
So we're going to be able to see Tsunami moving on, and now we're going back to the winners brackets where we're going to be watching Waggle versus Bacon.
All right. Any predictions?
Bacon is the bow trapper, and Waggle is the firestormer. Yeah. So I have to give it to Firestorm, I think.
Yeah, I had to say so too. I mean, the destroying the traps and the stun, it's been the bane of the bow characters.
Exactly. All right, so
let's
switch that overlay.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch it this time. I promise. Just gotta load up into the arena. Okay, switching it now. Engage.
Here we go.
Thank you, Hellman. Love you.
Wow, so, okay, Bacon coming out on top, very aggressive, which is exactly what he has to do.
Yep.
You can't let Dwarf, you know, or Waggle, whichever, put a lot of Firestorms down, because he has huge duration on them and good cast speed to where he'll just stack them on top of you until you can't get out. Just like we're about to see right here. Oh,
yeah,
just
gets out in the nick of time.
Yeah.
But goes back in, chases him down. He knows as long as he can outrun the Firestorms, he's not going to take much damage.
That's it. Quicksilver is really the key to Firestorm. If you can Quicksilver, there's no way a Firestormer can catch up with you. The animation is much too slow. But unfortunately, you know, you don't have Infinite Flask in this best of 7.
One good thing that they could use is Quicksilver with increased stun recovery. So to negate that stun or at least
Yeah,
make it less less effective.
Exactly. You can't avoid the stun because he's got so much stun reduction. So if you can recover it faster,
This is not
that's
good.
excellent.
Ooh.
Oh, and there's the freeze, and that should have been it.
Yeah, I got some good RNG on the fireballs. That's all you need.
Yeah.
And that was pretty bad RNG.
Yeah, we saw him get out with good RNG, use a flask, and then instantly hit terrible RNG. So wasted flask there, but you know,
Waggle is happy.
Yeah. So now we might actually see. Oh, there's another Quicksilver. I was just gonna say we might see him camp a little bit because he's out of flask, but no, he's still going in there. Got
I
the extra
love
Quicksilver.
seeing Waggle. The placement of the Firestorm is perfect. It's blocking his opponent's way, and it's kind of on top of himself as well. So if he mirror hours on top of him, he's going to get hit.
Yeah, you're really trying to. It's really a crowd control ability. You really have to cover all the ground yourself and the possible options towards you. And Waggle is, I mean, he's been doing that for like 2 seasons now, I believe. Definitely knows this build.
Oh, cast some stun triggering. Not doing any damage though.
Yeah, the traps from Bacon are doing a lot of damage, and Dwarf is having to pot every time. But unfortunately, I think Dwarf is just able to out-sustain him essentially because he's got a lot of HP, a lot of regen.
Right. Getting some of those kills on the. Oh, is he gonna waste any pots? No, decides not to. Wait,
Wow,
who won?
Bacon won that one.
Oh,
He
damn.
got the point.
Nice.
Yeah, the Glacial Cascade from Guess One Stun came out, but it was too late. It was because it was the landing stunt, the landing blow.
Right.
Another cold snap there. You know, Bacon's really got.
Ooh, nice smoke mines. Gets a big puncture on him there.
Wow. Yeah. And Dwarf having to pot through that one. Another wasted pot there. You know, right off the start of the round, you have to expect him to come in with a trap like that. And Bacon really putting on pressure, almost getting 2 traps there.
This is what he needs to do. Just move fast, move away from the firestorms while doing damage. Gotta do 2 things at the same time. Another one.
So what we see here is Dwarf is really covering the ground so well that it's working down Bacon. But also we've seen you know, Bacon's traps doing so much damage.
Oh,
so,
the bear trap's gonna be the end of him here.
Yeah, and that was it. The bear trap causing his death from that. He was trying to be sneaky and try to go into him there, but.
No, I thought it was well played by Bacon though, by playing the game the way it had to be played, but I don't know, maybe got a little bit unlucky in here and there. Waggle is one top tier Firestorm player.
Yeah, you know, Bacon, as you're saying, has the right strategy, but it's a flask expensive strategy, right? Like you're having to go in, maybe have to use a health flask if you're taking damage, and you're using the Quicksilver to get in. It's a good strategy for Blitz. For best of 7, it's unsustainable, I think.
That might be true, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish we could see the pots, but sadly we cannot. It would give us a lot of information.
Yeah, that would be outstanding. Yeah. Fortunately for Bacon though, it's not over. This was winners brackets. We're gonna see him be sent down back to losers down there. And but before we go back to losers ourselves and check out the matches there, let's check out Hellman versus Meph in this winners bracket.
All right, let's do it.
So I believe these are 2 Bloodlines players, so a little log out is necessary here.
Gotta log out.
Yeah, so some of the very best Bloodlines players. It's going to be interesting to see how Hellman handles the outstanding pressure from Mephisto, right? We saw him with crazy attack speed, and
it's going to be flickering in, leap slamming in, heavy striking him, and probably perma stunning him with the perma knockback. But the traps from Hellman are fatal, and gotta be very, very careful.
Yeah, so I think Hellman might have to play really campy here, putting a lot of traps down where he is.
Take advantage of the cover constructions.
Exactly.
Always have traps up on himself and in the vicinity.
Oh, and Mephisto's keeping his bow out. Okay, there we go. Hellman has a lot of traps on the ground right now. Mephisto should be spamming arc or something.
He's not using any of those right now. Oh, leap slam's in. Doesn't care about the traps.
Yeah, but Hellman used the pot there, and oh, and look, he's using leap slam with Herald of Ash. It's popping all the traps.
Right, and here you got the stun. Almost had him there.
Oh, good job there by Mephisto backing up. It was definitely a trap there, and a freeze pulse and a few traps were waiting for him there.
Oh, Helmet deciding to go self-cast here. Plus, of course, he has the trap behind his back, so the Flicker Strike instantly triggers it, and he's going to take a lot of damage.
Yeah, and we're seeing Hellman rush to the bottom. He definitely wants that corner. It limits the options of the enemy coming in. Man, both of them potting so much there. Wow, Mephisto. Mephisto going in even though he saw Hellman trap the ground where he was, knowing that the Flicker would come in.
Yeah, it might work in the short term if he's using a lot of flasks, but long term, I don't know. And the sparks here are going to be...
Yeah.
Oh!
Wow, surprising to see him come out on top.
Well, he didn't have a lot of traps down. He was kind of running for his life there.
Yeah, it's good for Mephisto that he ended up getting that kill because he used a lot of flash there. He kind of needed that for the refill. There's another flash from Mephisto going in. He's getting frozen though, and there's the wombo combo coming out. No,
combo.
Not quite. Not quite.
But Mephisto's very good at putting on pressure, so it's almost like Hellman's not...
There it is!
Wombo combo.
0 to death in just that combo.
Where you at?
That's a fantastic combo by Hellman there, and honestly, once you get that cold snap, if you don't have freeze immunity, that's it. You're done, pretty much.
Yeah, or a lot of HP, so it doesn't last too long. Like we've seen in previous matches, people have been able to smoke mine now before the trap lands, but not the case here.
Oh, and I was just gonna say, Hellman's sitting on like 3 traps right now, and then you see the whirling from Mephisto in. Definitely a mistake there.
The whirling cannot dodge any freeze pulses, that's for sure.
That's for sure, and especially where he landed. He landed on the trap with the whirling rather than have it in the middle of the whirling animation. And you know, it's really cool to see how Hellman is using the bow swap, and really like good movement for a trapper. Honestly, he's very quick, look at that.
Yeah, saw that coming a mile away.
You know, trappers often will just like set up a base and wait for you and literally just sit there. Hellman's kind of like he sets up his base on the go, right? He uses his bow, lands somewhere, bam! I'll put 3 traps here. Come at me, I'll freeze pulse you. You know?
Yeah, makes him chase him like a dog chasing a rabbit.
Yeah, you're like getting baited. You really want to go there, and then in just a quick second, he's got the whole setup.
While you're jumping, he's putting down death traps.
Exactly.
At your destination.
Yeah, very good movement for a trapper, and I like to see that. I really like to see that play.
Man, Hellman is impressing me. He's a top-tier racer, and it would seem he is also a top-tier PvPer.
Yeah, this guy, I mean, he's got to love PoE to be dedicating this much time. So, okay, so next one we're going back to losers, and we're gonna find out what happens basically with Bacon and Tsunami. Again, very similar matchup. We've already seen it quite a few times. Bow versus bow, so ice shot versus most likely ice shot or puncture.
Tornado shot, not seeing too much use of that.
Yeah, you know what? I think that stems from tornado shot getting a pretty significant nerf.
Yeah.
I probably have to guess is the reason. It got a pretty significant nerf. Like I think it was almost like 20% less or something.
That is quite substantial. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think players are like, why would we use Tornado Shot when other skills like Ice Shot haven't really been touched? If you look at all the patch notes from PvP Season 1 beforehand and in between PvP Season 1 and 2, you don't actually see any nerf whatsoever to Ice Shot. So I think just from everything else getting nerfed around it, it sort of made Ice Shot top tier, right?
Yeah, but I think it's also a skill that hasn't been explored too much, and just now people are open their eyes to it.
Yeah. That's what's kind of cool with these balance patches is they sort of force you to open up your, like, look outside the box and look for other options. Right. And like, okay, so Tornado Shot feels underwhelming. Is there something better? And then you start doing some testing, and that's when you come up with such a almost, it seems almost overpowered, and yet it hasn't changed. So anyone could have used Ice Shot at any point in time.
I think you could have put an Ice Shot character into the previous meta, and it would have probably done really well.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was just lack of testing, or simply that there was another better option like Tornado Shot. So it's like, okay, we know Ice Shot is good, but why would we use it if we have something better? It could have also been the situation. All right, so enough talking. Let's get some action.
Let's do it.
Chinese Bacon versus Tsunami. Here we go.
Bacon in the red, tuna fish in the blue. 5, 4, 3, 2. All right. I think Sunafish, I'm gonna give him the advantage because you have so much faith in him. He played really well against another bow character the last round, so.
Yeah, I think if I had to...
Look at that, look at
damage.
that. Oh, this is a dream.
I think Tsunami's like a very known player for...
finding those sweet spots.
Yeah, and also sort of enjoying the cone. He calls himself the king of the cone.
Right.
And,
yeah, look at that. Perfect.
Yeah.
There you go.
He, you know, likes to boast about how you can't stop the cone, and these memes are enjoyable, but you can see here why they're so popular. Man, look at that chill, and Temp Chains makes the chill last even longer.
Bacon was baiting him with those bacon traps.
Wow, that's the cone through the obstacle.
Through it.
Absolutely
King of the cone.
Crazy. The master of the cone here, he's I mean, when he sits down like that and just starts turreting at you,
the
look
sniper
at that damage right through the obstacle. I mean, Bacon's getting he's getting hit by the cone train. He's
slapping him with that tuna fish all over his face.
Yeah. Okay. So Bacon, you gotta, like, you know, give yourself a few slaps in the face, wake up, and make a plan. Okay, you can't just go into the middle and just sit there. What I want to see Bacon do is put some traps middle ground and spam off screen. He's also got ice shot, I'm pretty sure, in his links.
He hasn't attacked one time.
To him? Yeah, exactly. He's letting Tsuna do that to him instead of him doing it to Tsuna, and that's just letting him bash some cones in his face.
I've seen him attack like one time this round. He's throwing traps constantly.
There we go. I'm liking more what I'm seeing. Unfortunately, it might just be too little too late.
Yeah, he's used a lot of pots. He's been taking a majority of the damage.
Yeah, you know, you can see it there. He's getting frozen. He's not putting on like a Wanderlust or something. Yeah. That could have helped. You know, maybe he was out of charges for all his pots that give him curse immunity. And honestly, if you have Temp Chains on you, you're stuck in that chilled ground or that freeze duration for a long, long time. It's not something you can afford. Yeah. So, you know, I think Bacon was just either not prepared or just unmatched. It was just... I feel like he didn't maybe understand the matchup too well, or not entirely sure. But Tsunami just came out there like a dominating king of the cone, you know? Yeah,
he seemed very hesitant. He was fiddling around with his traps, peeking around the corners where he really shouldn't. I mean, that's the worst thing you can do against iShot, is peeking the corners. And, yeah, struggling to find a plan of attack there against Tunafish.
Yeah, exactly. I feel for Bacon. I think he's don't get me wrong, I want to emphasize this. He is an exceptional player and deserves a spot in deserves a spot in the Invitational. Man, he destroys me all the time. But in this matchup, he got really outplayed. I think Tsunami is just a really, really strong player, and he's familiar with the matchup, I'm sure. iShot's gotten a lot of popularity. All right, so enough about that match. Let's just jump into the next one, which is going to be back into the losers bracket. We're going to look at how Mephisto and Hedgie handle each other, and who's going to stay in the tournament. Alright, so let's jump into this.
Let's see.
And if you're ready, we're ready.
I am ready. Let's do it. I'm going to switch to overlay too.
That's
the wrong one. There we go. Oh, there it is. Got it.
There we go. So we've got the Mega Attack Speed Sword and Board Heavy Strike versus
Puncture Hedgie.
Double 6-link PvP-ness hegemony.
Spreading that. I'm not going to say it.
Alright, so he's putting a lot of traps here in the middle. That's bear traps by Mephisto, actually.
Bear traps.
Very, very good to see, yeah. Because they're popping Hedgie's traps, but also pinning him down and allowing him to go in and melee him. Look at that, there's the bear trap. Oh, couldn't convert, though.
Already in the beginning there, you saw he was getting confused, and once again by the mirror. I love it.
Man, putting so much pressure on Hedgie.
But Hedgie is being very smart, though. He's throwing the traps in front of him, forcing him to run through the puncture traps. And he leap slams.
I'm really liking that. The Mephisto's game is top-notch right now. Just spamming those traps, putting a lot of pressure. I mean, Hedgie is known to be a mobile opponent, like very, you know,
it keeps moving.
Using a lot of, Yeah, a lot of movement skill and stuff, but Mephisto's on top of him consistently.
So I'm guessing
Just
Hedgie has
watching
some
it.
pretty good evasion because he seems to be... Oh, it might have been a little bit of desync there, actually.
Yeah, Hedgie does have good evasion. Remember, he crafted almost every single piece himself, so he made sure to get all the top evasion rolls.
Yeah, it seems like he's whiffing some of these hits quite frequently.
And in the end, Mephisto falling short and losing to Hedgie, which was surprising because he looked dominant at the beginning. I hope he didn't use too much flasks. And oh, and there's the bear trap.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I think he's missing a lot. So
It really does, right? Yeah.
because he's playing perfectly, he's playing very aggressively, he's getting in there, but once he starts attacking, like nothing's happening.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing that I don't think Hedgie's doing, but people like to do, is put blind on the mirror arrow or blink arrow.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to do damage with it, you might as well make it get some utility, like LNP blind, for example.
Just compound that low accuracy.
Exactly. And you know, Mephisto was playing the Sword and Born Marauder, I believe, before he used RT, and decided to convert to evasion accuracy based. You know, surprisingly, it's working out for him a little bit here, but the accuracy is pretty rough. I mean, I don't know if it's low or if it's just Hedgie's evasion is incredible.
I love how he's juking Hedgie though, and his attacks. He's trying to, like, he's staying very mobile himself, using whirling, using leap slam, and constantly on the chase.
Yeah. We're seeing, we're actually seeing Mephisto using sword and claw, and as someone was telling me, it could be that the claw is like, or the
hit?
dagger, no, is a vegan dagger where it allows you to always hit.
Oh.
It's something to think about, but when you see him attacking, it almost looks like that can't be the case, right? Because he's missing a lot. But if I'm actually not mistaken, the vegan mod only works on attacks with that weapon, which means that 50% of the time when he attacks with the other weapon, he's basically accuracy.
Yeah,
And
but
when he
does
hits
Heavy
with the
Strike
vegan-
alternate though? I thought it was just the main hand.
Oh, well then maybe the vegan's not working the way he thinks it does. Because I'm pretty confident that vegan mod only works when you're hitting with that weapon, not specifically. So it'll be interesting. I'll definitely have to interview Mephisto after this and ask him what's his thought process and all that. Very interesting. Because remember, he switched from a Marauder with the shield, so very different setup. Man, this is such a close game.
This is the third round, and we're playing to the last second. Oh, so close. Didn't get it though.
God, wow, the draw! Holy crap!
I would actually like to see him like slap on a Vitality just to outlast Hedgie, because he's doing a pretty good job at it.
That's
already
a really good point. Yeah, and I think Mephisto, you know, obviously he's spec'd Ranger because he feels like that's superior against most matchups.
Yeah.
But in this matchup, if Mephisto was still a Marauder, I think he would have had no problem with this.
Yeah. But I think the block chance he's getting is also helping him out here.
Yeah, that's very true. And man, these guys must be completely out of flask. Look at that. Mephisto has to stand still because he knows he can't plot through this.
They're keeping their distance. Oh, but he's going for it.
He's got no more flask. He's got to put pressure.
Oh,
on.
nice. I like it. It was able to force Curse Immunity Flask out of Hedgie.
Yeah,
Probably the last one he has too.
And then decides to back off because he knows that Hedgie's going to gain the position from the blink arrow. So yeah, very good there.
They're constantly placing out smoke mines as a backup line.
Man, Mephisto's regen is tiny. You can see it just a little bit. If he had that vitality, it would definitely make a huge advantage.
And
In a match that's this long, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. And Mephisto's being very good at predicting where Hedgie goes. So, you know, Hedgie's doing his stutter steps, but on the next stutter step, he's already whirling bladed up to there and starts hitting him.
Going there. Yeah, absolutely. And if he decides not to move, he's getting hit by that whirling.
All right.
Mephisto, unfortunately, having to concede that one because he was out of flask.
There's always hope, though. Never give up, never surrender. But I think...
Did you see that?
No.
Wow, Hedgie spawned the Anime Guardian off the map, and it looked like he was invulnerable, essentially. But as soon as Hedgie started moving too far, he teleported. But that's a very interesting idea, to put the Anime Guardian in mid-air so that it can't be attacked in case you get rushed or something. Very crazy. That's awesome. And Mephisto is just taking bleed damage after bleed damage. There it is again.
Just got his bow on. Doesn't use any flasks. Oh, Hedgie sees this.
Yep. Oh, he's forced to flask there. He's got to be low now. He's got to make something happen. He needs a refill himself.
Oh, he's in the smoke. It doesn't seem like he minds the blind, though. From the smoke itself.
There it is. Come on. You got to convert on this. He's at half HP. Hedgie's probably either out of pots or choosing not to pot here.
He's running on an empty tank right now.
Absolutely.
And one thing that's pretty cool that people might not know is that if you have a little bit of energy shield, you see both players have a little bit of energy shield, that will give you some extra stun recovery or chance to not get stunned on at least the 50% chance not to get stunned on the first hit you take.
Yeah, and you know, I remember seeing Hedgie crafting his helm. He has the stat on it, avoid stun, that he crafted from Leo. And it's an evasion ES helm that he purposely crafted, and it's got the ES evasion percent as well. So he's purposely giving himself, I don't know, about 50 ES.
He doesn't care how much it is, like just a little bit of ES, as long as there's ES.
Yeah. So as long as he has ES, his next attack won't stun him, and that might be the difference. You know, it's little things like that PvPers like to min-max. Very, very clever stuff. And you know, Mephisto here using Herald of Thunder because instead of Herald of Ash or something like that, because he knows that if he activates it, it's going to pop all of Hedgie's traps automatically.
Alright, Hedgie. Mephisto, man, he's using Leap Stab, Whirling Flicker, and his bow to get closer to Hedgie. Every tool.
Wow, Mephisto is really trying hard. It's just, he does very clean, very proper approaches, but just doesn't convert.
It looked like he was out of pots, conceding, but he actually potted up there.
See, there once again, he lets Hedgie walk away every time. And Hedgie's actually, if you look at the HP bars at the top left, Hedgie actually has a tiny bit more regen.
Yeah, it's
kind
of negligible, but it's going up nevertheless.
Well, in a match this long, you know.
That's true. That's true.
Could make a difference between taking another hit or not.
Oh man, yeah, but you're right. He does get some good damage in, and then he decides, okay, I'm not gonna keep chasing. Where he should have capitalized on it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so here we are. These guys just won't quit. They really. Oh wow, terrible mistake there by Mephisto walking into that trap there.
Hedgie doesn't see it though.
He should have known. Yeah. And the Anime Guardian taking a trap from Mephisto and decided to convert on that. He has the frenzy charges up, gives him a lot of attack speed and movement speed.
Alright, Hedgie just setting up base. It's got a lot of traps. Mephisto's gonna walk straight into them. Oh.
Yeah, he is. Oh, there.
Yeah.
That was a terrible mistake. We all saw it there. He put his traps in front of him to pop them, but you could see that it wasn't reaching the one at his feet. I think Mephisto's probably...
he's all out of bleed immunity.
Yeah, he's probably upset with himself with that last mistake. It's going to cost him.
He might, unless he goes aggressive, if he draws out this round, he can't win. It has, like, it will end in a draw.
Yep. Yeah, Mephisto here has no option, and Hedgie is well aware of that. He knows he's playing that game. He's like, all right, you have to come to me, so I'm gonna run away. Which is, you know, exactly how you have to play it.
Yeah,
right now.
And he's falling into the trap of desperation right there.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Hedgie did the right thing there, keeping him at the furthest distance he can. In the end, Hedgie taking it, and this was it. Unfortunately for him, for Mephisto, that is, that was loser's bracket. So Mephisto is out.
Bye-bye, Mephisto. Well played, though. Excellent matches, and this one, probably one of my favorites so far. It was so close, and both players playing to the fullest of their ability.
Yep, so big GG to Hedgie. All right, so here we go for winner's bracket, back up there. See what's going on there.
Semifinals.
Yeah, Hellman versus Dwarf. Let's find out who's going to proceed to finals.
Alright, so this should be, well, actually, I'm saying it should be, I was going to say it was going to be an easy match for Woggle because the Firestorm destroys the traps, but clever constructions, baby. So he can't just stand there and put Firestorms on top of himself because Hellman's just going to see that and put traps right in the smack dab middle and kill him.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, the clever constructions, even though it's only 2.5 seconds, and so I still kind of give the advantage to Firestorm. You know, that if he gets the wombo combo where you're putting the traps directly on the person, then yeah, there's nothing Dwarf can do about that.
Yeah, and he's denying Woggle the ability to peek around the corner and put some Firestorms. Oh! Gets a little peek there.
Oh, and there's the freeze. Wow, that duration with the temp chains. It was interesting to see Dwarf actually pot. I feel like he didn't have to pot because Hellman didn't convert on that. It must have been a cold snap cast one stun maybe. Remember, Dwarf's build is a stun build, but it hits multiple little times with the balls, which means that if Hellman has any sort of cast one stun setup, which he does, it keeps proccing and proccing, so it's very often he'll get hit by cold snaps and glacial cascades, which also break traps. And
right.
You're gonna see a lot of that.
Hellman getting caught there. Maybe a little bit of desync. Oh. Maybe we're going to see a front-up assault from Hellman. I'd like to see that, actually.
Yeah, we saw that a lot in the other game. We thought he played exceptionally well when he was very quick, very aggressive. And honestly, in this matchup, that's exactly what he's got to do.
I mean, he does pretty great damage with his self-cast, and if he can intimidate him by throwing some traps too, I mean, I think he can do it.
Yeah, you know, when he was playing that other game, he had to run away from a melee. But here he's playing a game where the Firestormer is just going to stand his ground, right? That's what Firestormers do. They just stand there and cover the ground crowd control. So Hellman's got to come in with a Quicksilver, maybe a bit of RNG on the stuns, and get into his melee range and to just do that wombo combo there.
All right,
Dwarf camping that ground, that south corner religiously.
Yeah, it's important for his build though. He gotta have those that distance, the view distance. Oh, the bear trap on Hellman.
Wow,
that is it.
Yeah, the Firestorm of death, the skill storm as it's known.
Skill storm.
Yeah,
I love it.
You know, when Zarf's got the positioning he wants, you have two ways of approaching. Within a Firestorm or within a Firestorm, because he's able to cover those two grounds. The increased duration makes it so that if he casts at two different areas, it'll be Firestorming at two different areas at the same time still.
Woggle sees what Hellman's doing. He knows he's going to throw traps, just stutter steps a little bit.
Yep, that cold snap though.
And the reads, I mean, he's reading Hellman like an open book here, seeing where it's going to be, seeing where he wants to run away, and always places a Firestorm there to meet him.
Yeah, honestly, it looks like Woggle was just born for this matchup. He knows it so well. He knows exactly what to do. I haven't seen Dwarf make a single mistake.
And I mean, the threat from Hellman is so static. I mean, it's so predictable.
Yeah, you know he's going to come in with a Quicksilver and put the wombo combo on you. So all you have to do is place a few traps around you and just cover the ground with Firestorm.
Yeah, or just put on a freeze immunity. He's not going to be able to engage.
Yeah. That's absolutely correct.
Then it's all down to some lucky traps. Bear trap on Hellman here. This might be the end. Temp chains, increase duration, and that's it.
Closes it out. And it's funny to see Dwarf not have the Wanderlust. It's almost like it would be a no-brainer in this one, but still, you know, doesn't even affect the matchup, apparently.
Didn't need it. But so, we didn't see Hellman go self-cast freeze pulse once, did we?
No, you know, I think that's just because the freeze pulse is almost useless if it's not gonna shotgun. Yeah. So yeah, I think it just stems from the fact that we could never see Hellman get into close enough range to Dwarf.
Yeah, I saw him attempt it once, but Woggle just immediately stepped away. He didn't want to have any of that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
This is my game. Play it my way.
Yeah, you know, I don't think it's impossible for Hellman to come up on top of that game. I just think that in order for Hellman to beat that matchup, Dwarf has to make some mistakes, and he played perfectly. So I'm really not that surprised to see Dwarf on top, to be honest. Yeah. But both are exceptional players, and it's not over for Hellman. This was winners brackets. Right. Everyone gets to lose once at least. So you know we're gonna see him. We're gonna see him go down to losers and maybe come back.
That is right. So We're now probably going to see Hegemony versus Tsunami and see who will have to fight against Hellman in the semifinals in the losers bracket.
Yep, here we go. It's getting started.
Oh shit. I'm spectating. There
Just
we go.
in time. So,
2-1.
yeah, Tsunami. Tsunami versus Hedgie, Bo versus Bo. In this tournament, these are the two best bowers, I think. I think it's safe to say, so...
Yep.
Here we go. We'll find out who's the best of the best.
Alright.
And both of them just standing. Just
mano,
staring
mano.
each other's eyes, really.
The king of the cone
staring.
deciding not to use the edges.
Yeah,
Oh,
and Hedgie, yeah, standing in the chill ground there, that's a mistake. Still standing in it. Why? Like, it's terrible to
he does
attack
have
from
curse
within
immunity
it.
up, but still, I mean, it's a disadvantage.
Yeah, you have to move, and that's one thing that's so powerful about Ice Shot is it forces you to move. It forces you to move around, and then that can be punished with more Ice Shots.
And Hedgie's using punctures. I mean, Tuna Fish, like we said earlier, he likes to just stand his ground, and the puncture's not going to do as much damage if it's just standing there and
Exactly, yeah.
you know, trading punches with you.
Essentially, Hedgie's not getting the full effect of his damage because Tsunami won't move, so I'd definitely give the advantage to Tsunami if they're just going to stand at each other like that.
Oh,
Also, there's a lot of RNG, right? The accuracy versus
course.
evasion, very much in effect in this matchup.
you see Hedgie's actually evading a lot of those hits.
Yeah. But sometimes
Oh.
you can still get the chill ground off on the ground, even if you miss the shot. So, like if you hit an object, for example, you'll put chill ground on the ground. And also, I don't believe the cone needs to roll any kind of accuracy or evasion. It might be kind of like EA, where if you hit the wall and hit the cone, it doesn't need to roll. Could be another reason.
One thing I'm also a little bit suspicious about is I know Hedgie, he takes PvP very seriously. He min-maxes anywhere he can min-max, he min-maxes. So I'm pretty sure he's respect a few points and gotten Honor Skull just for this matchup.
Yes, no surprise there. If it is something you can do, you bring in some regret orbs and you switch it out. It's not against any kind of rules.
And of course, for those who don't know, Honor Skull will double your evasion against projectiles, and that's why you're seeing a lot of those ice shots just going straight through him, not hitting.
Yeah, and you know, it's very easy to say getting 2,000 evasion, if not more. Like Hedgie could have easily 3,000, but
Yep.
2,000 is a value that I think is quite easy to get if you're new to LLD and you don't know how much evasion. That's about it, 2,000 or more. So when you're doubling that value, that's huge.
Blue team gains a point.
Yeah, and he's being able to win those exchanges.
Yeah, and making a big difference here.
I'm not sure if
And you know-
Sunafish has realized.
Yeah. Oh, and Hedgie's there. Yeah, I think Hedgie's doing a much better job now of standing out of the chilled ground. I think he's realizing that's a mistake, but you know, you can't just sit there and stand against an ice shotter. You really have to be moving along.
Alright, we're seeing a little bit more of that mirror arrow play with the traps.
Yeah, that's
No
what I want to
longer-
see from
yeah.
Hedgie.
Team gains
Very, very good there.
Switching it up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. A lot more movement. Makes it more confusing, makes it harder for the opponent to follow you.
But Zunafish has been able to do some good damage and getting close, but I don't think he should risk it. So switching it up a little bit and having some movement is a good idea.
Yeah, you know, it's surprising to see Tsuna struggling so much with this matchup. I thought it'd be a bit closer, but yeah, Hedgie's just showing really good domination.
But we've seen Suna come back in the past.
Yes, that's
Oh.
correct.
He's going straight for it.
He might as well use
or
every
die.
pot he has right now. This is it.
Yep.
You use your pots, you get the kill. There
you
it
go.
is. He did it. Yep. You have to use your pots when your life depends on it. Get the win, and then you get the refills. Not full refills, but some refills.
Get a little bit more than your opponent.
Yeah, very good job by Tsuna, and even good job this round here. Rushed the bottom and got a few shots on Hedgie. Man,
Well-
Tsuna is really playing well.
When Suna falls behind, I've seen him just go back and rely on that sniping strategy. As you can see here, he's using the range. The king of the cone. Not gonna do it this time though.
No. Yeah, definitely. Tsuna, unfortunately, getting sent down and Hedgie coming out on top. It was interesting though. Like I said, I don't know if I would have predicted it. That I kind of thought it'd be closer.
Yep.
A little bit.
I wish we could have played Guile's theme because Anders Guile was very important in this matchup.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think Hedgie is as you mentioned earlier, Hedgie is like he loves PvP. He really analyzes it and everything.
Yep.
And so if he finds a way that he can min max a bow versus bow, he'll do it. He'll do anything that it takes. So I think he was very comfortable with that matchup.
Definitely.
All right. So next up, back to losers bracket to find out what happens to Hellman, who lost the last one, and now he gets met up with Hedgie, who just lost this one. So yeah, this is it. Like, we want to find out who goes into the finals from the loser side.
Man, I don't know what's gonna happen here. Hellman is playing really well. Firestorm seems to be pretty tough for him. But up against Hedgie, I mean, I think he has a chance. Hedgie keeps moving a lot, and I think that's gonna come back and bite him in the ass because of the traps. If Hellman is smart with the placements.
No, yeah, exactly. Again, it's so hard to call these because it really comes down to the amount of mistakes you make and also how you pot, of course, if you can get your panics off. And that's actually one advantage that I think Hedgie kind of has over Hellman is
better pot management.
Yeah, because Hellman's traps, when he's doing the wombo combo to you, it's not impossible to get out. We see it a lot where he doesn't finish the full combo. But as he's doing it to you, the freeze pulse, it requires about 2 to 3 freeze pulse depending on your HP.
It's predictable.
Which allows you to panic. Yeah, it allows you to hit that panic flask. And, maybe that panic flask also has Dispel Freeze or Curse or something that gets you out of there. So I think if either player is in a bad position, Hedgie can most likely live out of it instead of, whereas Hellman might just not.
Yeah.
Also, Hedgie is, we've been saying it time and time again, he's a very mobile player. He's going to be running around the full arena length if he has to, which is terrible for a trapper. How does a trapper chase down someone so fast, so mobile as Hedgie? It's like monumental. It's going to take monumental effort from Hellman, I think.
It has to be some clever placements, I think. Got to think ahead, knowing where he's going to go, because he's not going to expect any traps there. Also,
yeah, that's the thing.
I think, once again, Hedgie to probably respect a little bit here, don't you think? Getting that spell dodge, maybe?
Getting the phase acro instead of Anders Gal, because Anders Gal will be completely useless here. Absolutely, I think you're completely right.
And, is he using a rear guard? He probably is. Probably.
It could very well be. Of course, rear guard gets a little bit less efficiency because of acro, but still, that's what, about like 9% spell block, possibly, I think. Yeah, so that's something. All right, so Hellman has to conserve his Quicksilvers and just use them when he knows he can convert.
Those sparks do so much damage. Those are like 2 or 3.
Yeah. Spark's actually doing a lot more damage than Freeze Pulse due to the nerf. But Spark actually getting buffed, surprisingly, for almost no apparent reason. It was very strong. I remember one of our guildies did Spark, in the Season 1. Very, very powerful, and it still got a buff somehow. So we're seeing it, getting very popular this season.
Well, we haven't seen it dominate, so it might have been justified. But it certainly does. In some cases, it can just straight up one-shot you.
Yeah, and I think Hellman's kind of using those traps especially instead of Freeze Pulse, because you know what, he might just get that one shot he's looking for.
All right, Hedgie going here, but decides to fall back immediately.
Yeah, and I think in terms of trap placement, Freeze Pulse is more forgiving.
You see, Hellman is pretty squishy.
Yeah. Freeze Pulse is more forgiving in the sense that if the person walks over like the side of the trap, they'll still take the full Freeze Pulse damage. But with Spark, it really has to be precise.
Dead on. Like, ooh.
That combo though, that was really good. I think Hellman's using self-cast Freeze Pulse is a very good idea. There's no way to sort of escape that chill, escape that freeze. Yeah, definitely not something he can do.
And he gets the damage out a little bit quicker. Instead of waiting for another trap to travel through the air, he just instantly hits you together with the trap he just throwed.
Yeah. Oh, they're very close to each other, and that's the kind of cool to be in.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd like to see Hedgie get out of there. There we go. That was definitely a mistake by Hedgie. I understand he's trying to circle around, but this, like, there he goes again inside. Wow. He came out on top there, but you saw there Hellman almost taking out Hedgie in like 2 traps, so...
Yeah, and I think I mean, Hedgie was kind of lucky there with the placement too. I don't know if he was paying attention. He probably was paying attention, and he mirror arrowed exactly where there was no traps. Or very little traps, anyway.
Yeah, you know, as long as Hellman is sort of in that melee range of Hedgie, Hedgie's in deep trouble. But of course, Hedgie's got every tool he needs to, you know, make sure that that doesn't happen. He's got, you know, the enormous range pressure, and then he's got the quickest escape mechanics, essentially. Now, this is Hedgie's not spamming there. There we go. Yeah, Hedgie's got to be active 100%.
Like Sunafish, hitting those corners.
Yeah, because you never know when you'll get a snipe, just like that one. There we go. You got it. Hellman walking over a trap.
Alright, it's going to be a match point here for Hedgie. Playing well. Aggressive. Not being afraid of going into Hellman's terrain.
Yeah, oh, he gets the bear trap, but Hellman's not converting. Oh, trying to trap where he landed, but again, Hedgie's so fast.
Getting multiple bear traps in quick succession is really good because, you know, the cooldown of mirror arrow is like 4 seconds. So if you can just keep throwing those bear traps, he can't move.
Sometimes we see Hellman throw a trap and it looks like it's gonna hit, and at the last frame,
second,
Hedgie's able to get out, like while the trap is traveling the air, which is just absolutely crazy to see.
On top of their game, both players.
Oh, and there it is.
Bear traps.
No, again, man, Hedgie is the master of escape. And,
no, he's. Oh, I felt like Hedgie could just end it there. He's in the open.
But as soon as he saw Hellman throw some traps, he knew he had to sidestep back a little bit. I think Hedgie did the right play here. At the end of the day, it's much easier to win the attrition game when you're ranged than when you're like a trapper or a melee.
Totally.
Oh, and he's in deep trouble there. Using a pot, though. Still tempting.
Alright, I want to see some nice cold snaps here from Hellman with the wombo combo.
Wow, very nice. So we've definitely got a tight game again now.
It's not over.
And remember, when you get that kill like that and you sort of tie the game up a little bit, you get the flash charges to come with it too. So Hellman's probably very happy to see some flash charges.
And it's a huge boost to your motivation and confidence.
Yeah, it really swings the momentum when you get that that quick one shot or like wombo combo setup. So Hedgie almost, yeah, very much camping the bottom there, and he's like, you know what, I can't afford to lose another point. Remember, he's only 1 point away from winning, so if he camps and Hellman comes in and he gets a one-shot, that's it, it's over. Look at that, look at that.
Oh, Hellman.
He's in deep trouble, he's got to get out, he's got to use his bow swap and get out of there.
I want to see some ice shots, just spamming that corner now, tuna fish style.
Manages to get out and back into safe ground. Hedgie did put some traps there, he's got to be careful.
Oh, he can run, but he can't hide. Hedgie's coming for him.
Yeah, it's so hard to chase Hedgie because you know that between each other there's a ton of traps. So not only are you trying to chase, but you're trying to clear the traps in front of you at the same time.
Yeah, and
it's so difficult.
See the prolif there off the traps with the Herald of Ash.
Yeah, does some good work for that.
That was not the true Hedgie. That was a mirror arrow. He saw it. Draw. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. If you know what, if I'm Hellman, I think I'm happy with that. Remember, he's the one who last got the kill, so he got some charges. Now he just drew it out, got some more. He's probably looking at almost a full set of charges here.
And Hedgie can actually just play it calm if he wants to, but it depends on how many flasks he's got.
Yeah, I think, wow, that was almost a vital mistake.
Yep.
Hedgie going down to the corner there was terrible. But what's even worse is Hellman running around there. You know, you have to always expect traps to be in front of you when you're you have to tread carefully. You always have to expect traps.
Yep. Oh, nice stun lock here with the puncture. Oh, and the freeze from the ice spear. Cast on stun. Saves him.
I was convinced that Hellman saved himself from the cast on stun, but no.
Oh, wow.
As soon as Hedgie comes out of the freeze, his animation ends, and he fires that arrow and gets the kill.
That would have been so funny. If that was what's gonna save him from this tournament.
Yeah, if that saved his tournament life and he brought it back, that would have
highlight
been,
of the year.
Definitely of the year. Amazing.
Alright, so unfortunately, that means Hellman is done in this tournament. Nice, nice play so far. Manages to get into semifinals of this Invitational, and Hedgie is coming up into the grand finals from the losers bracket, and is gonna fight against Waggle.
Exactly. So while they're setting up the arena to put Waggle versus Hedgie for the grand finals, predictions?
Oh man, Waggle is playing so perfect. It's a treat to watch him play Firestorm, and Hedgie, if anyone can do it, it's Hedgie, because he's so mobile and he knows where to go. That's
true.
Yeah, he knows what Waggle's doing. So I think he can outplay him, but it's gonna take everything he's got. I think it could go either way.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I think if someone can do it, I think it is Hedgie. He's so mobile, and he's got all of the advantages that other people who are mobile don't have. Like, if you look at Mephisto, the heavy strike, dual wield, he's very fast.
Yeah.
What does he have though as a disadvantage? He's melee. He's got to go all the way to Dwarf and do that. He doesn't. Hedgie doesn't have that problem. If you look at Hellman was being very mobile as well. But again, his fatal flaw is he's a trapper. It's so hard to chase someone when you're a trapper. So
almost impossible.
Exactly. So what's left? Our man Hedgie, who's got the off-screen ice shot fire arrows, or arrows that can fire across the screen. If someone can do it, I think you're definitely right. It has to be Hedgie. But yeah, Dwarf is yet to make a single mistake. So I hope Hedgie's ready.
All right. So is this gonna be Torment versus Torment this time? Because we had Bloodlines versus Bloodlines last time, I think. Yeah, it's going to be Torment. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. It's actually really interesting to see Bloodlines come out on top in one tournament and Torment on the other. It's kind of neat to see that Bloodlines are still in this.
All right, we got Hedgie in the red, the Waggle in the blue. If you guys got a favorite, start spamming their name in chat.
Yeah, do you wanna suggest an icon and get the poll out?
All
I
right.
want to see some spamming.
All right, if you want Hedgie to win, I want to see Franker C. If you want Waggle to win, I want to see PogChamp. Let's do it.
All right, make your vote. Now's the time. We're just about to start this one.
All right, of course, if Hedgie wins, Waggle still has a life, and he gets a rematch. So it's gonna be 2 sets if Hedgie wins. If Waggle wins, it's over. He's the champion.
Round 1.
Right.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Man, I was just gonna, we were just saying how it's hard to predict this one, right? It's like 50-50. And you look at the chat and people voting, and it's 50-50 in the chat as well.
There you go.
I think this one's unpredictable.
Oh, Hedgie taking a lot of damage here. Managed to get out of it, though.
Dwarf running a lot.
He's being very aggressive.
Yeah, Dwarf is usually...
Oh, close!
What?
Dwarf just chasing down Hedgie.
I think Dwarf, he decided to go very aggressive, which is interesting, but
he doesn't like the 50-50 odds. He's insulted.
Yeah, we've enraged him, and he's going crazy with those fire stones. He's going nuts.
He's going Super Saiyan Waggle.
Yeah, well, it's exciting to see him going insane like that, but so far he's already potted 4 times. Ooh. I don't know if it's going to work out against Hedgie.
Yeah, this is only the first round.
Yeah, see, he's already slowed down his pace. Now, we're back to the regular Waggle we're used to, and look at that, he gets the kill.
And you saw Hedgie, he was in a really shitty position there, and I don't think he used any pots. I didn't have my eyes on him, but it seemed like he just tried to get away. If he got away, fine, but if I die, so be it.
Yeah, so, I like to see, that we saw Dwarf sort of calm back down to his regular self, because it's working out. There's no reason to change your style right now.
Oh man, Waggle is the predictions. He read the scripts. He knows what's going on. He knows where Hedgie's been, where he is, and where he's going.
Exactly, yeah. Man, we're seeing Dwarf playing so much camp here now, which is good. I'm getting stuck there in that ice shot though.
Keep firing those eye shots, Hedgie.
Wow, those are single proj
the snipes.
Yeah, sniper. Wow.
American Sniper.
American Sniper Hedgie. Unbelievable.
Kimchi for the
That
win.
360 no ice shot. It's awesome.
The Kimchi Sniper.
Dwarf is like really
he's going on
getting a
defensive
run
here.
for his money now. Yeah.
I see a lot of Hedgie going in and then falling back.
You can tell Dwarf has a lot of HP because the duration on
He is tanky.
yeah, like the duration on the freeze and the chills is very little.
Oh,
Like,
it's
it goes off
so
faster.
close.
Gains a
Wow.
point.
Those single prods hit so hard.
So hard. All right, he's
It's
still
a
in
lot
it.
harder to land them too, so it's really rewarding to see him land them too.
Definitely. And he hit him while he was running sideways, so he has to kind of skill shot in front of him. And then get the stun, and then continue hitting him. And the freeze from Cold Snap. Wombo combo from Woggle.
Round 5.
The PogChamp is getting stronger.
Yeah, it's amazing to see. Oh, Dwarf rushing to the bottom there,
Oh.
but Hedgie's not there. He was convinced Hedgie was there. Dude. Very interesting.
Hedgie usually goes straight for it, so...
Yeah. And you know,
Oh, nice,
Dwarf
nice.
is using increased duration nodes in the tree, and so not only does it keep his Firestorm on longer, but also it allows him to run faster, like longer with the smoke mine.
Right.
So you'll see him smoke mine at the beginning of the round, and the duration will last all the way to the bottom. So a good way to rush for the corner at the bottom there.
Also, his bear traps will last a lot longer, too.
That's true, yeah.
It's a pain. They last, I'm not kidding, like 4 or 5 seconds, depending on your HP.
Yeah, no, actually, if you get a max quality, max level duration, well, max level obviously for LLD, and you spec into the nodes, you can get up to 6 seconds. I've seen.
That's unreal, and Hedgie
That's
taking
unreal.
a ton of damage here. Uses Curse Immunity, gets out. Not using any health flask, though. I think he's going to concede this round. Yep. Not worth it.
No. And there it is. So we've got our
The winner!
fantastic. We've got our
RMT.
Mr.
Pay to win.
Waggle.
Pay to win.
Confirmed.
Pay to win.
Congratulations, Zarf Waggle. I thought I'd do him the honor of reading his full name for the victory, but I think I just butchered it. So,
This far.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
If you missed the other tournament, I'll just quickly go over what they won. It's a fantastic prize provided by Alienware. It's called the Alpha. It's a gaming console. It's basically kind of like an Xbox. You plug it into your TV, you use controllers, except it runs a Steam OS, which allows you to play your Steam games from your computer. So it's really the best of both worlds between a gaming console and a PC. Fantastic. So great prize there for him. Thanks for Alienware for sponsoring. And man, this is kind of a fan favorite. So I'm really happy to see Dwarf. I think Hedgie did an outstanding match. I think everyone was in agreement. If someone can do it, it's Hedgie.
Yep.
So he put up a good fight, but
I think he's one of the first guys to take a round of Woggle, actually.
that's actually, yeah, I think that's correct. So
And Woggle was just slaughtering bow characters left and right all the way through to the finals.
and going into that match, one thing that I remember saying is Dwarf has a clean sheet. He hasn't done a single mistake, and then right on round one, I already spotted a mistake by Dwarf. I said he's going too aggressive. He's got to go back to his play style, and then he did and did fine. But like Hedgie was able to cause some mistakes, cause some high pressure.
Yeah.
But Dwarf, he's such a good player. He could handle it very easily. So. Outstanding to see such a good racer and a good PvPer at the same time. Such a good player.
It was cool to see Hedgie just baiting him after him, and that's what I think made him aggressive. He was just constantly running away from him, and Woggle wanted to get in there. And then in the round 2 or 3, he started learning. He was adapting. He was reading into the future, and then started countering him. Yeah, powering up.
Yeah, he's going into his final form. Yeah, it was a really good match. So that's it for us, folks. We if you missed the tournament we had earlier, which was the European Invitational, so exactly what you saw today, except a European, folks. The VOD should be up. If it's not up, trust me, it will be posted either on the news page or even on Reddit, or you'll see the link, I assure you.
And I'm sure they're going to upload it to YouTube on their official channel too.
Yep, they've been uploading it to YouTube. This one as well, so if you've come halfway through and you want to see some matches that you missed, it will be up.
And the next season is going to be in hardcore, isn't it? So, I mean, if you're going to be... If you like what you're seeing and you want to participate, you can already start now in hardcore and standard and prepare your PvP character.
Yeah, there's so much resources, there's so much help available. You know, you too can be participating in this. You know, the Invitational isn't like completely out of reach because, you know, it's LLD. It's so accessible to people. You know, of course you have to dedicate yourself to it. There's no doubt about that. But if you set that as your goal, the same way some people set, you know, the 50 challenges or the top 50 challenges T-shirt for the ladder. You know, when you go into PoE, you set yourself a goal. If you set yourself the PvP goal, you can do better. Same with racing. So we encourage people to check out PvP and racing as well. Those are two fantastic aspects of the game. And yeah, so basically that is it for us. And first of all, before we end, I gotta say this, and this is very important. Hear me out, guys. GGG is, sure, it's a Monday for them. It's a Sunday for us, but it's a Monday for them over there in New Zealand. So it is a work day, but they woke up at like 4 in the morning just to provide you this stream. Like the European one, they had to wake up at 4 in the morning, go to their office, and they're the ones doing all the technical stuff that you're seeing. We're just the shoutcasters. We don't do anything. They run the whole tournament. They woke up super early to do it. And last season, they came in on a Sunday. They didn't even have work day, and they came in and they brought to you this tournament. So I'd like to see, everyone knows how to do the clappa, I hope. I'd like to see clappa. Yeah, do some clappa in chat. A big great hand clappa in chat for Bex, for Chris, Carl. I might be missing someone. They woke up early. They came for you guys and did this. So a big clapper for them.
All right, and I just want to say thank you for having the opportunity to shoutcast this. It's been a really cool event. I'm glad to see that we're improving this. A bit less hiccups this time, although I forgot a couple of things. It's been really fun to do, and I hope to see you guys in the next season as well.
Yep. So thank you from me, Green Dude.
And thanks from Willie, and we're gonna play us out with some Act 4 music. Get hyped. It's right around the corner, guys. You guys have a good night. Peace.